So a couple months ago, I saw that this Genshin group for like a D&D style high fantasy AU thing was looking for more people, and I thought, wow, that's really fucking cool. And also, at the same time, I go to this LARP called Starfall Academy. It's sort of Star Wars inspired, but not Jedi for legal reasons, but you still have like lightsabers. Anyway, the TLDR of that is that they sort you into sects, which are pretty much Hogwarts houses. I was in the purple one, and I thought Fischl is also purple, so I can just make cool costuming for both. I can multi-purpose, which honestly, if you sew something, you really want to multi-purpose because that stuff takes so much time, money, and effort that, yeah. Anyway, the LARP isn't gonna get mentioned too much because my main focus was the Genshin stuff, but it's called Starfall Academy. It's actually really cool if you want to check it out. So I want to preface the whole video by saying I'm actually a pretty bad seamstress, but also in this project in particular, I tried to take like every shortcut imaginable. When I actually compete with something, which I am not very good at either, but I am aware that there are ways to do things better and there are sewing techniques you should be using, I did not use any of that. I spent a lot of time just getting an idea that I think is pretty cool and then making it with my rather mediocre skills. And then this video, I want to demonstrate that even if you're not that good with something, you can still do it and it'll look pretty cool and you can still be happy with it. And there are a lot of shortcuts you can take, especially with sewing, that someone who actually sews would see and be honestly kind of horrified by. But for just a random person watching this, it's not that bad. So you can like come at me in the comments or whatever because the craftsmanship on this is objectively terrible. But I think it looks cool. I had a lot of fun doing it. I think that this shows that I'm really not that good at what I do, and it looks cool anyway. Anyway, so I started this idea with two major components. I knew I wanted to glow. So my light components were COB LED strips and fiber optic fabric. Now COB LED strips, most people, if they want a tape of light, they would go for EL wire. I've worked with EL wire before. I think it's a little dim. It's not that dim. It shows up okay in actual darkness, but I wanted to glow like a fucking ring light. So I looked for other options. Normal LED strips didn't do it for me, so I went with COB. And fiber optic fabric is what I was really excited about. Fiber optic fabric is everything you see at Met Galas, at fancy LED wedding dress. Everything with that starry cool fabric is fiber optic. It's incredibly expensive, but I don't know, I think it was pretty cool. So the fabric comes in and it looks something like this. Fuck, there's like a right side and a wrong side. These are just like cables, I guess. I mean, it's just fucking fiber optic fabric. You can probably find like a description anywhere. But it comes with like drivers and LEDs that you, hold on. It comes with drivers and these LEDs that you screw in here. So this LED provides the light that goes through those fiber optic cables, and because I don't know if you can see it, you can see a little, the scratches or whatever, I don't really know what happens here, but scratchy make light looks like stars. Pretty fucking cool. Doesn't show up that well in broad daylight, but okay, Google, lights off. Oh ho ho, oh ho ho, that's pretty fucking cool. Ayo, yeah. So this thing, it's controlled by this. I think there's like a Bluetooth way to do it, but like I'm fucking stupid, so I don't know. But I only need one color anyway, because Fischl's like got a purple fetish or whatever. Yeah. So normally when you make a ball gown, you do that big circle thing. Like it's a circle skirt. I don't know if everyone knows what a circle skirt is, but basically you cut a circle, you cut a smaller circle inside of it, and because the radius gets bigger, it's like foam, like the circumference of the bottom is just so much larger than the top that if you swirl, like if you turn in a circle skirt, it like flies all the way up, and that like gives you like a nice skirt thing. Fucking, I don't know. Great thing about this shit is that because the light travels down in the vertical line, if you cut like here, there's no LED fucking here. Like you could hook it up, I guess, but like that's too big brain for me. So you have to keep it in a like rectangular thing and then cut only one side however you want it. So whenever you see like corsets and shit, like there's one piece that just goes down like the skirt and then another piece that like you just cut at the boob fucking chest area that you need. I'm very eloquent. So to get the poof I need to pleat this, I guess. I mean, honestly, there's probably a better way, but this is what everyone who I saw did. And it seems to work well enough. So the idea is, oh god, I don't have pins, but like theoretically you would pin this shit and wait, hold on. Okay, so no longer theoretically, you pin the everlasting shit out of a bunch of pleats. You should probably do them like more even and small than I did, but I kind of haphazardly, dude, I don't really sew. This is just me on a sleep deprived binge. Dude, I was watching The Expanse. Okay, you know, sewing takes so goddamn long. Every time you see one of these things, it's just like, wow, I can do that. You can do that if you have like 100 fucking hours. Holy shit, my life sucked. No, my life's great. Okay, so you pin this thing and you make them ideally a little smaller than this and more. Dude, look at this thing. This thing's like fucking half an inch and this one's like 2 inches. I am so happy. I don't know if you can, no one cares. So you pin it and then you're supposed to sew it. I was really scared about this because like if you impact the optic fiber directly, then the light will like escape at that point, I think. I don't really know. I'm not a fucking physicist. Actually, I took a quantum mechanics. Okay, dude, I hate physics. Everyone who's a physics major, like, hats off to you. That's insane. My sister has this theory that math majors who are sane do engineering because it actually makes you money, and then math people like really fucking like they're there to learn math. So they're all insane. Do you know any insane math? I know some insane math majors. Anyway, so you need to do something to hold that pleat. So probably someone smarter than me has a better way, but I literally just tacked on this black Ponte. Ponte fabric is a goddamn godsend. I love it. It's thick enough that like it hides your underwear line, so you can just do one layer of it without having to do lining, and it's also stretchy as all hell. And stretchiness like really gives you a lot of leeway in fucking up, which I need because I fuck up a lot. My entire life is one fuck up. So you sew it to there, and like I have this, it poofs out here, but honestly I'm not super opposed to it. I think it's fine, so I'm just gonna leave it. I might like press this. I was thinking about pressing this with like an iron. Normally what you do if you want a pleat is you press it down like with heat, but I think this plastic might melt. I don't really know. The problem with working with like weird shit is that you always Google it, and then Google gives you like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing this? Like, why are you using a hair dryer on? What happens when you use a hair dryer on fiber optic cables? Fucking Google doesn't know either. It probably does. Google's gonna replace everything. Dude, ChatGPT, I have a lot of thoughts about AI. They're probably all wrong. Anyway, pleats. So the pleats make up the skirt. So I have this, hold on. I just pleated the entire thing because I didn't know how long it was. So we end up with like this. Dude, these pleats, just don't fucking talk to me how bad these pleats are, it's fine. And then all the wires and shit are just really whack ass here. I might clean it up, I might not. It's 2 strips because I'm stupid and I cut things wrong, so we're just gonna live with that. So this, oh god. So this whole thing is gonna be my skirt. So theoretically you would like skirt it all the way, but this isn't long enough, and also Fischl has that weird pussy out thing going on. So I think it's gonna have to be somewhat more like this, which I'll figure out once I get the bodysuit on. So I bought a bunch of these strips and tips. So 5V tends to be the things you can plug into a USB. I need shit that like goes to a battery pack and not a wall outlet. I spent a long time looking at shit and then they all went to wall outlets. Just to clarify, I am in no way an electronics person, so I'm gonna be talking out of my ass here. This is like not geared towards anyone who knows what they're doing. Yeah. Honestly, if you know how to sew, I would not recommend watching this video because you're probably gonna just be, yeah, sorry. Anyway, COB strips, 5V COB LED. LED strips by the normal ones tend to be those like dot 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 things. I think that's kind of ugly when you're on like on an actual piece of clothing. It's bright as fuck, dude. Holy shit, that's not on. Okay, I don't know if you can tell. It's like blowing out my camera, that's fine, but it's really bright. I don't think it shows how bright it is. I mean, honestly, it lights up like, okay, also if you're doing like home decorating, this shit's awesome. Honestly, it's somewhat flexible, so if you want to do like a design on your wall, it's okay, but it doesn't do sharps. That's fine though. I don't really know if you want to. Anyway, so this shit's awesome. So I got a lot of ribbon too, and the idea is you want to sandwich this thing in the ribbon so that it ends up being like purple in daylight and also sort of purple when it lights up. I don't know if you can tell. You really can't tell, but like it sort of gives a purple glow against my hand. I don't know if you can see that, purple-ish. Yeah, I mean, we'll just call it purple. It looks purpler in real life, but like nothing here looks the same as in real life. So pro tip when you want to do this, initially I was looking at bias tape because I always use bias tape, but like purple satin bias tape for like 20 yards is a weird thing to buy, and I don't want to make my own because I'm fucking lazy, you know. Also, like satin, I hate working with satin. I'm so bad at working with satin. Ribbon works fine. It's a little bit the idea of bias tape is so it can curve with your outline. If you're not working with something that's like just a pure straight edge, the bias tape will conform to it better, which is, yeah, it makes it look less wrinkly. If you use ribbon, you're gonna get these like wrinkles because it's like bunching up in certain areas, but I don't really give a fuck, so we're gonna use ribbon. You have to iron it to help it stay down. You don't have to. You could be really ratchet and just like do it as you go. Honestly, like that's fine. I've done it. But if you want to put a modicum of effort into it, I would say iron it first so it has this crease. It'll make it a lot easier to feed it into your sewing machine. So I had this black, honestly, I don't know why I used this. It was like really cheap, I guess, this black fabric. And so you sandwich LED, ribbon, and the fabric here. Like you put it under the ribbon, and then with one line you can sew everything together. Like you don't have to do this. This is just how I did it, just because why not? But does that make sense? I hope if it doesn't make sense, well, fuck you, like comment or something. I don't know, email me. Do people email anymore? I guess people email. And then with my circles, I ended up with this really ratchet. It's incredibly, see, it's bunching up because it's not bias tape and also because I'm bad. Like, I think it's important to remember your shortcomings, and then my life is a shortcoming, except I'm gonna live forever, so the life itself will not be coming short. Anyway, so initially I saw this thing on Instagram where this person a lot cooler than I am did this like drape thing. So you basically just drape this on your skirt and then you have this thing falling down. I thought that was cool as fuck. Turns out it looks kind of shit with mine. I don't really know what it is. I was super uneven with cutting my circle, so that might be it. It also just might be that they used horsetail on this part, which means that the stiffness was different and it just looked better as a twirl. I don't really know. Anyway, I fucked around with moving it because I didn't want to undo it because I'm fucking lazy, and that thing took forever. It takes forever to sew edging. I don't know, I'm dead. I got a bodysuit from Shein. It was just like a random one. I was trying to figure out what kind of has official silhouette, and I don't really know what, like, I don't know. I'm not super happy about this one, but I'm not upset either. And I'm way too lazy to sew my own because I'm fucking lazy. But also because it's not that hard to do a bodysuit, but it fits better if you use a super stretchy material. And sometimes when it's super stretchy, your stitches go weird. I already modified this so it doesn't look right, but it looked like that initially. I don't really know, fucking, just pretend. But I had this sequin fabric, so I cut a giant hole and shoved it in. It was really ratchet. Here, let me show you how ratchet it is. Dude, look at these stitches. Look at these stitches. Ooh, ooh, look at that. Wow, what good craftsmanship. I'm never like gonna win a masquerade because a lot of people tell me I should like learn to sew or like take sewing lessons, and I'm like, that's a great idea. Let me never do that. So my thing is like, I fully respect people who sew well and I wish I could be them, but also I would just like to sew faster. I would rather sew 10 really shit things that work than like one really nice thing that like looks great, because I'm a shithead. Maybe this will change, but like me as a person, I have no attention span. If I'm not constantly feeling accomplished, I just won't do a hobby. I think that says a lot about me as a person. I'm just gonna put this on so y'all can see. So in the final version, probably no pants. I have like fishnets and shit, but like I just didn't want to be that pussy out right now. This clips like a swimsuit, bodysuit, whatever you have, that normal thing. So it's just really thighs out, skies out, yeah. But this is what I did with the circle thing instead. There's a lot of raw thread, just ignore the raw thread. Battery pack, I need so many battery packs for this. I'm gonna have to buy like 5 more. But oh ho ho, oh ho ho, I look like a fucking space alien. That's some good shit. And then of course you have this component, which I'm gonna try and pin on, I think. Like, I think it'll be useful to try and figure out. Ideally, you should do this on a mannequin, but I'm bad. So here we are, but, oh, I need to actually button this down. but it's gonna be something like, I'll figure it out. So all this shit needs to plug into battery packs, and it also has all these wires hanging off. Right now it's really ratchetly just like hanging out there. So I need to hide it somewhere. I'm thinking that I need to put something like at the small of my back. That'll probably work. But I need like something here to be a pocket for something. And I'm thinking I need something around it to hide that pocket. So at first I was thinking a bow, because just dress, ball gown, bow, I don't know, it seemed intuitive. This is really shit, by the way. I need to fix this. Just like, don't look at anything going, honestly, just don't look at anything going on here either. That's fine. I had extra of, when I was gonna do this twirl thing, I wanted one on both sides. Clearly that didn't work out because it got butchered to make this sleeve thing, which honestly, not upset by. I think it's pretty cool looking, but that means I still have another one of these. And then I was thinking like, so the theory behind making a ribbon flower is you kind of curl it up so the edges fan out. Interestingly, it's just a ruffle, so I'm thinking that I can do that with this too. So we're gonna see how this goes. God, this thing is really ugly, like just don't think about it. This is sort of just a mock-up of what I'm looking for, but I think just something sort of rose or flowery. This is kind of jank. We'll have to fix it, but this isn't even pinned. I just kind of shoved it together. Dude, I'm fucking terrified. Every time I have to cut one of these things, Jesus Christ. So you're supposed to cut them at these like joints. They have like vaguely delineated areas where you should cut. I guess let's just, oh no. I'm gonna die. Ooh. Okay, close enough. It's kind of ugly, but like, so am I, so we're good. Guess we'll just sew it in. I absolutely did not do a good job because I don't really give a fuck. Honestly, who the fuck cares? Like, it's done. So there are actually pins all over this mannequin, so I'm gonna like stab myself. There's no way I'm gonna get through this whole thing. I already been stabbed like a couple times just sewing, but holy shit, that's disgusting. Dude, can you see that? That's fucking horrifying. Why am I like this? Oh god, oh god, oh no. My stitch ripped. Well, that's great. We'll fix that eventually. I don't really know when. Okay, so lots to fix. As I put that on, something popped right there. That's called bad news. This one keeps fucking up, so I need to pin that there. So I'll just like, oh fuck. Do that to remind myself. It's asymmetrical as fuck because I'm bad, but like, we'll just, that's fine. Okay, so this needs to hide a pocket. Should I put this on after the... Maybe I should put it on after I do the skirt. That might be good, actually. Well, it sounds like a problem for later. Okay, the other thing I want to do is that... Oh, fuck, why is this so whack? The other thing I want to do is that these... So when you raw just buy these off AliExpress, they come in a fairy light strip sort of thing. But that meant the wire just went willy-nilly everywhere. So I was trying to like tame it down. So I had the brilliant idea of rubber banding it and then hot gluing it. I'm so lucky I did not electrocute myself doing this. Yeah, also it takes surprisingly long. This took me so, I mean, you see this time lapse, and I don't know how much this is sped up by, but like, it's not hard, it just takes a while, and the fact that all this stuff pops up while you're sewing, and you're like, shit, now I have to do this too. Everything is just gonna fucking glow, that's just the story. Oh god, is that a bad, no, it's not out of battery. Holy shit, that's dim. Hold on. Wow, that's still dim as fuck. Well, that's how it is, I'm too lazy. This one should be like a bodice thing. I don't really know. Official's got like shit going on her boobs. I don't really have titties, so I feel like I have to compensate with like also having shit on my boobs. Oh, that looks okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. So I need to attach this. I also need to like hide this wire on the big bow thing, but what first? Attach first. Flowers, then skirt, then... Yeah, let's do that. Flowers, skirt, then the back thing. So obviously I didn't record like me doing everything, but I do have a lot of time lapses. Most of the time I can't be asked to like talk through my process, so you just get a lot of these. I thought I would leave it in just to show how much time goes into just pitting something. Like after I do this, I have to go back with the machine and sew it all together. And if you want to do it properly, you really should do a mock-up and then go on the real thing, but I mean, you see how ass fuck this whole thing is anyway. This thing right here is really funny to me because I'm literally just hand sewing on those flowers, and I've maybe tacked those flowers down in like 5 places, and it is taking literally this long. Things take so long to hand sew on, but it's not hard. Like, none of this is taking skill, it's just taking patience. Anyway, here's the worst cut known to man. So, fully done? Oh ho ho? Oh ho ho? Oh god. So cool. It's so cool. Oh my god. It's so cool. I think it looks amazing. It's fucking. I have like photos. The photos all look really cool. Oh my god. It's really cool. So you can see me toddling around because if you're not actively trying to keep your balance, it's so hard to walk normally. All these videos and stuff are going to be from KatsuCon because that's where my shoot was and it's what I finished my costume in time for. If you don't know what KatsuCon is, it's an anime convention in Washington, D.C. The venue is beautiful. I love it a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. One of the things I didn't expect was that I didn't test the batteries before wearing it. Honestly, it was a last minute thing. I pretty much finished the day of and then wore it that night. The COB strips, they last about 90 minutes with a full battery. I have a 10K, like 10,800 mAh. I don't really know what all this means, but it's like, what, 5 full iPhone charges? Something like that. It lasted 90 minutes for these strips, which sucks, but I think it's the rose. The rose is like a full 3-meter thing. So it just like eats the battery like hell, which sucks, but whatever. But I wouldn't have been able to wear it that long at a time anyway, because when I first put it on, I was like, wow, my legs look short. So I fixed that with, they're so tall. They're so tall. These add like 6 inches to your height. I wrapped some fairy lights around it so it like glows a little, which is fun, but they're so hard to walk in. If you ever want really tall like stripper shoes, also these are like, I searched stripper shoes and bought these, so I don't really know. Yeah. Anyway, 6 inches. If you want to buy them, get the ones that like lace up around the ankle. I think the more ankle support you have, the easier it is to like shuffle. Not that most people like shuffle in these things, but I dance a lot at cons, so. But yeah, the height makes you stand out. I didn't realize how much being tall as hell gives you like impact and Genshin impact in person. I would get tall shoes if you can handle them for like an hour at a time just for cosplay. So I dance a lot. At night, it's so bright. If there's a camera around and you walk into frame, that's all you can look at. Also just the tallness, and in general, even in daylight, I finished some stuff on it to look good at night, and then I turned the lights on and went, okay, I got work to do. So it was kind of like half night done and then half, oh ho ho, gotta add more so it looks okay in daylight. Especially because like I used a lot of translucent stuff that just doesn't show up. A lot of this dress looks better in motion, so this is while we're still working on it, so it wasn't done yet. It also had a run in it. I'm so mad about that run, but it is pretty bright, and the starry effect does show up pretty well in video, so I was pretty happy about that. Also, the way it just trails on the ground is nice, but I think all ball gowns are like that. This one is just, you don't trip over yourself because the front is open. So clearly there's a lot of fucked shit happening on this, but that's fine. Oh god, I should stand here. So after I attached the skirt here, which I just sewed a line onto the ponte, attaching it right there. Why is my camera so weird? Wow, that looks weird. Something's wrong. Okay. I thought that it was a little low. If you turn it on, I think I have a video of it somewhere, but when you turn it on, the line of this makes you look really strange. I guess it's because my legs are a little short already, but it did not help. So I had this ruffle laying around. I bought it really cheaply from AliExpress, so it's a pre-made ruffle. I would really suggest doing that because it's just so much easier than actually making your own. And lazy, it looks fine. It can't contest with it, but I don't care about that. So I attached this ruffle all the way around, and then I didn't really like how the ruffle looked just plain on. So I had also these rhinestones. These rhinestones are also pretty cheap from AliExpress. They are heat fix, which I would not recommend. They come in a little roll like this, and they're somewhat elastic, but they're also just, they're strange to work with. The heat fix isn't very good. If I could redo this, I would have tried to somehow do either an elastic sew-on or glued them on directly so that when fabric stretches, the rhinestones just go further apart, if that makes sense. That's what I did with the sleeves. The sleeves just have, a lot of these fell off because I was really haphazard about it. This was a last minute decision. But I just glued on some just nail rhinestones, I think. You can buy rhinestone glue on Amazon, it's not very deep. Actually, I probably should have made those purple. If I had purple rhinestones, I would have used purple, but such is life. After these flowers went on, I thought they looked a little lame, so I deepened the inside bits with purple paint. I don't think you can see that, but that's fine. It doesn't make a huge difference, but it makes them look a little bit more dimensional, I think. And then the other problem was that you could see sort of the wire on the top of this. Actually, if you lift it up here, so if I lift like this, you can see the wire coming from the bottom. You could see it if you were taller than me going from the top too, and since like my boobs sort of cover the bottom but not the top, I added this black ruffle to hide it. It's just like tacked down in like 4 places. It's a really haphazard job, but I guess the job done, so I'm okay with it. So the part a lot of people wanted to know about was the battery pack. So this battery pack is really fucked up. I did this at the last minute. I literally just took scrap fabric, like sewed a really haphazard thing and then shoved it on. And it means that this rose is very jiggly. I don't hate it. I think it's pretty funny. But also there's exposed wires. I would probably, I don't know, I was worried that if I tucked them under the bodysuit, the line of the wire would be visible. But on second thought, it might not be as bad. This looks pretty weird, honestly. It doesn't show up in darkness, but you can see it now and it's fucking weird. So I might just put it under the bodysuit. Anyway, this pack holds so much stuff. It can hold like probably a whole ass water bottle if you wanted it to. It's just like a giant kangaroo pouch. I'm like a marsupial now. Right now it's got this battery pack, which is for the flowers, this battery pack, which is for these strips, which would be the sleeves and the rose, this battery pack, which is the fiber optics. So if I turn them all on, which takes a while, and when I'm wearing it, like you have to grope behind you so awkwardly, it's really strange. But on. Don't at me for bad cable management, I know. And you tuck it all away, and there you are. Let me turn everything off. Okay, Google, lights off. Yep. So there you are. It's pretty bright. The fiber optics are, oh god, they're off. Sorry, I think my fiber optics are out of battery. They look like that when they're on. Oh, that's not that bad. Cutting this was so scary. I think also just because like you can't go back, you can't sew it back on when you're done, because once that wire is cut, it's cut. Yeah, I did figure out how to use the Bluetooth app though. I have like some pulsing versions. That looked pretty cool. I was pretty happy with that. So yeah, that's the final dress. I would make a lot of changes. I am probably going to make a lot of changes before the next time I wear this. Most of them having to do with the wires and cleaning up this rhinestone because it's really ass right now. It's so fucked. I hope that this gave you, oh fuck, it's off. I hope this gave you some ideas on how to do your own build, or just like, you can really do a lot of stuff and it'll look cool even if you don't think so. I don't know if you think this looks cool. I think this looks awesome. I think it's really fucked, but I think it looks awesome. But yeah. Let me know if there's something else I should make. I'm kind of bereft now that I have nothing to work on, so yeah, if you got an idea, email me, comment, Instagram, I don't really know. Yeah.